Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. We have a great show for you tonight. Right next to me is my joint host, Mr. Casper Leach. Welcome, Casper. Over in the wings is Mr. John Cornett, ready for some soulful tunes.
Yes, sir.
We have a little bit of hemp news, and we'll be taking your phone calls at 503-288-4442. That's 503-288-4442. But we will buy a few crucial moments as we bring on our infamous dancing cannabis leaves. They're here now. All right. When the state of Colorado made history by becoming the first state in the United States to legalize marijuana earlier this year, opponents claimed this would cause an increase in crime. But as legal sales of cannabis have increased, crime has gone down in Colorado. Sales of recreational or social use marijuana reached almost $19 million for the month of March alone, an increase of almost $5 million from February. Reports Joseph Chiserik at Liberty Voice. The first 3 months of recreational cannabis sales have brought in about $7.3 million in taxes for Colorado. Then you add in the tax for medical marijuana, and the total goes to $12.6 million. The state also gets fees through the licensing of growers and sellers, and that revenue stream has brought in another $1 million in the first 3 months of legal sales. Meanwhile, compared to the same period in 2014 has seen an overall reduction in both violent and property crimes in Denver since marijuana legalization. Notable reductions were seen in homicide, down by more than 52%, and theft of motor vehicles, down by 36%. All forms of violent crime saw a reduction over the same period. Meanwhile, Colorado is seeing job growth. At least 13 different positions have been created by the industry, from marijuana writers to grow site operators. And we hope to see more of that in Washington as they phase in their laws for medical, for adult social use of cannabis here, and as we transition to that with our vote in November here in Oregon. Over in the middle of the country, the Minnesota House of Representatives and Senate gave final approval Friday to legislation that would allow some people with debilitating conditions to access medical marijuana if their doctors recommend it. The measure will now be sent to Governor Mark Dayton of Minnesota, who said he plans to sign it into law. The final version of the legislation will not allow individuals suffering from intractable pain, nausea, wasting, or post-traumatic stress disorder to access medical marijuana, however. We applaud the Minnesota legislature for taking this action on this important issue. It reflects the strong and growing public support for safe and legal access to medical marijuana. The vast majority of Americans agree seriously ill people should have legal access to medical marijuana. 22 states and our nation's capital now have workable medical marijuana laws on the books. We expect to see that number continue to grow. Over in Washington, D.C., political battles are building as the DEA faces a growing scrutiny for a slew of scandals, from the use of NSA data to spy on virtually all Americans, a massacre of civilians in the Central American Republic of Honduras, and a systematic pattern of fabricating evidence. DEA Administrator Michelle Leinhart increasingly is at odds with President Obama, the Justice Department, and Congress. In fact, even Republican Minority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky has weighed in on the political firestorm that has ensued since the DEA recently seized legal hemp seeds bound for a Kentucky hemp research program that was approved by Congress. McConnell told Politico on Wednesday night, quote, "It's an outrage that DEA is using finite taxpayer dollars to impound legal industrial hemp seeds, end quote. The Kentucky Agriculture Department is suing the Drug Enforcement Administration. Hemp's not legal to grow in the U.S., though hemp products can be produced and sold here. Some states have made its cultivation legal, but those states, North Dakota, Hawaii, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Oregon, California, Montana, West Virginia, and Vermont, had not yet begun to grow it because of resistance from the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration. A few months ago, Congress legalized the production of hemp for research purposes in states that want to allow it, but when Kentucky recently tried to import hemp seeds to begin production, the DEA seized the seeds. Kentucky officials, including Kentucky Republican Agriculture Commissioner James Comer and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul and Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, were all angered at this. And we're happy to announce that our organization, our political group that's circulating 2 petitions right now to end marijuana prohibition and restore hemp, has just put 20 billboards all over the state. So you can see those billboards. We will be putting up a couple more in the coming week and having a press conference. But maybe we'll have some pictures of those in just a little bit. But without further ado, we're going to jump over to Mr. John Cornett. John's ready to play some music.
Yes, sir, I am. This is a
Great.
throwback. Did this when I first started coming around here.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome, Casper.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, and welcome, viewers. We are taking your phone call tonight. We have a nifty new logo. We got to thank P. Steve for putting that together in digital form for us. You can call us if you have a question about ending adult marijuana prohibition, restoring industrial hemp, or helping medical marijuana patients. Just call us at 503-288-4442. I believe we have a caller standing by. Welcome to the show, caller.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
I have a question about industrial hemp in Oregon. I wonder what the status of it is, or I'm not really up to date on
Okay.
it. Thank you.
The state of Oregon passed an industrial hemp bill about 5 years ago. It was pushed through the legislature after many sessions by Eugene Democrat Floyd Przansky. That law says that research institutions like Oregon State University or others can test hemp, and there is a course that's put on by a number of luminaries in the hemp world at Oregon State University. Andrea Herman is one of the people who leads that course, but it's a number of lectures. But to date, no hemp has been allowed to be cultivated under Oregon's bill. In fact, just this year, the United States Farm Bill authorized the importation of hemp seeds and allowed these test experimental crops to be cultivated for industrial hemp for research purposes. And the Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner and several individuals in Kentucky have been fighting the DEA to allow a load of 250 tons of viable hemp seeds to be imported into Kentucky so they can start that process. But the DEA has blocked that, and that's even angered the Republican senators, Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul, from the state of Kentucky. Here in Oregon, we've had the support of many of our local officials, but to date, there hasn't been any test projects put forward. And that's where we stand today with industrial hemp.
And I think it's rather arrogant that the DEA should supersede the wishes of Congress, the wishes of the voters, and
worry about their own jobs is what it all
Exactly.
comes down to. You know,
Exactly.
they're really worried about their own jobs. And the DEA has opposed any changes in the law and even gone against their boss, so the President Obama, in basically all aspects, and participated in executing civilians in Mexico, even killing their own agents in Mexico and in Honduras. So the DEA is a rogue agency, unfortunately, and it needs to be curtailed, and hopefully that'll happen. We have another caller, though. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hello?
Howdy.
Hi, fellas. I had a quick question. I was wondering, where is the best place to obtain a medical marijuana card, and does sciatica qualify someone to receive a card?
Sciatica does qualify. Are you located in the state of Oregon?
Yes, I'm in Portland.
Okay, well, you know, I am biased. If you have any condition, then we have a number of doctors operating 6 days a week. You can even go down there tomorrow to THCF Medical Clinic. THCF.
Where is that located?
It's located at 105 Southeast 18th Avenue. That's 105 Southeast 18th Avenue. Generally, it's
Okay.
operating 5 or 6 days a week. I know there will be a doctor in there working tomorrow as well. So,
Okay.
but you've got to have some medical records of your condition. If you want, you can call the office here locally. That's 503-281-5100. That's 503-281-5100. That number that's right there
Okay.
on your screen.
Okay, and you do have to bring medical records there with you?
Yeah, or you can sign a release and we can get those records, but generally they're difficult to get on a Saturday. So the
Okay.
doctor has to have those sciatica records or some written report on your spinal x-ray. That'd be useful too.
Oh, okay. Oh, excellent. What is the typical cost to receive a medical marijuana card?
You know, it varies. There's a sliding scale for some low-income people. So I recommend you call. Again, this is a non-commercial cable access show, so we can't go into all the
okay.
economic benefits. But
Okay.
you can call that number or go into the office at 105 Southeast 18th Avenue for more information.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
All right, bye-bye.
And we have another caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, is it my turn?
It's your turn. That must be Nikki.
No, this
No.
is Carol.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Hi, the reason I'm calling tonight is I have Section 8 housing, which, as you know, is a federal program,
Right.
and I wondered if you get a state medical marijuana card, if you've heard of anybody getting in trouble with Section 8 or any
You know, it's been,
anecdotal.
I have heard of that. I have heard of people having problems. I've heard of the courts upholding medical marijuana patients' rights to live in Section 8 housing. I've heard of constant problems in that regard in terms of cultivating cannabis in Section 8 housing. But the courts have ruled in favor of patients' ability to have a card and even cultivate cannabis in their Section 8 housing. But a lot of the providers don't like that.
Yeah. So if you just got the card and had somebody else cultivating it for you, would that make
That wouldn't be a
less of
problem. Exactly. Or if you went to one of these
would.
new dispensaries or out there, or the various social clubs, any of those options would work.
Okay, so as long as you don't grow your own, you're less likely to get in trouble then.
That's true.
So how does Section 8 find out? I mean, is there like a...
They wouldn't know unless someone told them. Someone complained about the smell or something like that. Or they had some inspection, perhaps.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Paul, and I'm behind you guys 100%. I'm helping to do the petitions, and
Thank you.
let's go for it.
All right, we will. Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night. Yeah, we have a couple of petitions in circulation right now. There's Initiative 21, which is a constitutional amendment to prohibit cannabis prohibition. So it ends prohibition, to be exact. It says you can't have criminal penalties for possessing or using cannabis, that the state can regulate it with civil penalties. So the statutory measure is a regulatory system where it will license stores and farmers to grow it. It will allow farmers to cultivate hemp without a license. And also they'll be able to cultivate the most productive, best quality hemp for fuel, fiber, and food without regard to the THC content in those plants. So we'll see much more productive hemp under Oregon's law than anywhere else in the world right now. So if you're interested in getting some of those petitions, you can call our office at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. Go to our website at crrh.org or hemp.org, HEMP.org, or come by our office at 2712 Northeast Sandy Boulevard. If you call us or go to our website, we'll be happy to mail you petitions, or you can actually print out the petitions at home if you have a printer. Or you can pick up one of our newspapers out there that's out there. It's got a couple of our petitions inside, one copy each of the two. They're all over town here in Portland, and we'll be happy to mail you one if you like. So give us a call at 503-235-4606. All right. So,
And that's a great little newspaper, too.
well, thank you.
And you're going to be doing that every month now? Is that the deal?
No, quarterly right now.
Quarterly?
Yeah.
That's great. And are you covering local or national, or what kind of news in it?
National.
Awesome. Everybody needs to get a copy.
We think so. We printed 20,000 of them. So that's enough for a lot of people to get them anyway. So how's your week been, Casper?
Busy. Very, very busy. Almost too busy.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of great shows on the network, and we started a new program this week called the Cannabis View with Lennis Worth and Nikki Norris, and they're going to be doing conversations of headline news and what's going on in the marijuana movement around the world each Thursday. And then they're going to expand that to a 3-day-a-week program. And Joe Grumbine's going to be starting his program, I believe, next week as well. So we're getting bigger and stronger and louder.
All right. And where can people watch and listen to that?
Timeforhemp.com, Tumblr, SoundCloud, iTunes, and, of course, iHeartRadio.
All right. And so you have a lot of guests. We talked a moment ago about Andrea Herman, who's has a pretty illustrious background in industrial hemp. She's hosting one of your shows.
She's brilliant. She's got a lot of bright friends, too, from around the world that come on and discuss the different products that hemp can make, and a lot of retailers in the hemp industry, so that they know not only what they're talking about, but they're able to make available what they're talking about. That's one thing I like about this topic. When you discuss hemp with people and you tell them that it can make paper, it can make fibers, it can make plastics, you're able to actually go onto the internet and find places where they can get items made out of hemp cloth and hemp plastic and eat some hemp food. So you're not just talking about it, you're able to follow through with examples of what it is that you have to say. So,
Speaking of, we have some hemp oil here with a hemp wick. It's this hemp wick goes into this hemp oil, and here's some hemp oil, and we just light it up, and it is an illuminant. You can see it creates its own flame, and that's the reason that marijuana is illegal, because you can take this hemp oil, pour it right into any diesel engine, and turn the key and drive your car on hemp biodiesel. In fact, hemp is more productive than any other seed oil out there. Hemp produces over 300 gallons of seed oil per acre. The next most productive seed oil crops are soybeans, canola, and sunflower seeds. Each of those produce about 100 gallons per acre. But hemp produces 300 gallons with a byproduct of 3 tons of high-protein hemp seed meal and 10 tons of hemp bast fiber for canvas, rope, lace, and linen, and another 25 tons of hemp hurd fiber for paper and building materials, all from that very same acre. So we hope that we'll be able to allow our farmers to grow that. And Andrea Herman is one of the pioneers
I was
behind that.
surprised to hear the problems they're having down south in a place where hemp industry was historically what made the South so strong and so mighty. And the politicians down there know this, and then all of a sudden the DEA comes in and supersedes what the voters and the politicians decided on. I don't understand that. I mean, someone really needs to get a hold, like you said, of this rogue organization and fire half the clowns that are in there that think that they can just roll up their sleeves and take over the country and do with it what they want.
Well, it's been that way since World War II. You know, we won World War II in the fight against fascist Germany and Italy and Japan, but unfortunately many in our government adopted those fascist policies here at home, and so we're still trying to separate our freedoms from that hemp policy. Now, we also have a studio audience here, and you're welcome to come down and join our studio audience any Friday night at 8 o'clock here Pacific time, and there's a microphone, and John is at the microphone, and he has something to say.
Just a silly question.
Go ahead.
Just wondering if the female plants have the same beneficial containments, I guess, of like the male plant, the hemp. Say you have fields. Say you have fields.
So are you talking about hemp fuel, fiber, and food,
Well,
or are you
fiber.
talking about medicine?
No, obviously not the oil because you don't have the seeds, right? But how about the stalk?
Oh, certainly. The males have the same fiber. In fact, some people say they produce a better fiber because it doesn't branch out as much, so you get a longer fiber, as much as 3 meters long. And obviously, you're not going to get any seeds if you don't have male pollen. So you have to have male pollen along with the female flowers, like the birds and the bees and the hemp seeds, the people. And so both of them are very useful. Yes, we have a caller on the phone. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, this is Dale.
Hi, Dale.
I met you years and years ago, Paul, when I got in trouble, and you and Paul Loney, the attorney, got me out. Well, since then,
good.
I've got leukemia a year ago.
Oh, no. Well,
More
my
than that.
condolences.
And I went through all the chemo, and now I came back in February, and now I'm fighting to get the bone marrow transplant. Well, this Obamacare insurance crap is telling me that they told me I had to take a P test, which I've never done in my life because I contracted for myself for years, building houses, paying taxes. And now they're saying if I don't pee 3 times, they won't pay for my bone marrow transplant. So it's like you either comply or you die. And I just don't understand it. And I just got my card renewed last Wednesday. My birthday's coming up on the 21st, and I'm just sitting here in pain. I was vaporing. I quit cigarettes. I was vaporing and getting by with my pain management, vaporing, and now I'm right back to try the P test and I
Do they want you to test negative for marijuana even though you have a medical marijuana card?
Yeah, I just gave them the money. I went and took a test at Providence Hospital, and I love them people. They saved me in ISU or the intensive care 4 times, brought me back. All my hair fell out, all the things you go through, crapping my pants, peeing myself, and I made it out of there. And now they're saying that if I don't pee clean, and I failed the test last Friday, I took another one today, and I'm just at my wit's end. It's not fair at all. So I appreciate your show. You probably don't remember me from years ago, Dale Forbes, but I've had my card since you started, and
all right. Well, thank you, Dale.
I got up at the bed to call in and ask if there's. I tried to call the insurance company, and it's a government insurance. They won't even give me the number. Monday, I go in to talk to Dr. Cook about the results from my brother. He's going to be a match or he's not going to be a match, and he lives in Tennessee. They won't tell you nothing on the phone. They make you wait 2-3 weeks to go up there and talk to me in person. I just had to reach out to get help from my friends and whatnot, and I just wanted to call in and let the people know that it's just not fair what's going on.
Unfortunately, I've seen many people that needed a liver transplant or other things denied medical care because of testing positive for marijuana, and it's just heart-wrenching. If you will call our office and leave a message, I'm sure I'll get that tomorrow. And you can call us at 503-281-5100. I'm not sure I can do anything, but at least we can follow up and maybe raise awareness about this inhumane policy at the very least, and hopefully help you get the medical care you deserve.
Yeah, I have heard about some edibles that go away in 36 hours that relieve the pain, but I haven't been well enough to go there yet. So that was 5100. What was the first
There's the
part
number
of that?
right there on the screen. There it is, 503-281-5100. You see it there?
Yeah, I do. Well, I'm going to let you go so more people can call. I want to thank you, and
well, thank you.
I don't know Casper. I don't know that other fella, but I like him too, and you guys are still kicking this in, and I really appreciate watching the show.
You're very, very welcome. We will never surrender. We'll be here. We're not going away, and so I hope we can help you, Dale. So call in that number right now and leave your name and number on there, and I'll be sure to get that message tomorrow.
Appreciate that, Paul, and I'm just going to keep fighting this, be positive, and I'm going to beat it. You just wait and see.
All right. That's the
All
good
right,
attitude
thank
to
you.
have. Thank you, Dale. Good luck, and I look forward to talking to you here tomorrow.
All righty. Bye.
All right. We have another couple phone calls. Let's go ahead and take the phone call. Welcome to the show, caller. Hello,
Hello,
caller.
is that me?
That's you.
Hi. As far as the average rank and file voter, it seems like it's quite preposterous and stunning in that, like, if they want to have alcohol and tobacco, why should they care what somebody else wants to do? I mean, if they can have what they want, but they want to have what they want, but then not allow anything else for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like that last caller, that poor guy.
Yeah.
He's in line to get his treatment, and just because he's using medical marijuana for his chronic pain conditions and other conditions, they're saying he can't have regular medical care. That's just cruel. It's senseless. It's
Right.
They'll look back on that as akin to burning the witches at the stake, or the Jim Crow laws as antiquated, prejudicial ignorance.
And he might be able to get like a Marinol prescription.
Good thinking. Have to
But,
talk to him about that.
And like with this movement, like we don't want to restrict anybody else. Whatever they want to do, we're not doing that.
No.
But yet they want to do that to us.
Well, marijuana prohibition has never really been about drugs. Marijuana prohibition has always been about hemp fuel and hemp fiber. And drugs have always been a smokescreen to divert our attention away from hemp as an energy source, such as burning this little candle here. We don't have to pour our money into these capital-intensive industries. It takes hundreds of millions of dollars to drill for oil. It takes tens of billions or even hundreds of billions of dollars to build factories to process it in a very toxic environment. Petroleum is among the most toxic productions on this planet. And so they've diverted attention away from the fact that hemp can resolve most of our energy needs and most of our fiber needs to concentrate on these capital-intensive industries that only the richest people can participate in. So hemp prohibition has always been about money, power, and the continued centralization of economic and political control. And so that's why we're fighting to end marijuana prohibition, and our initiatives will completely end prohibition, and adults will be allowed to grow and possess marijuana without fear of arrest and prosecution, and they'll regulate the sale of it. And we'll free hemp from the shackles of marijuana prohibition, so that our farmers can get all that money instead of it all going to Exxon, the largest and most profitable corporation in the history of the world, or to the Saudi sheiks or the Nigerian despots. It will go to our farmers who will be spending it in our local communities and enriching us all. So marijuana prohibition isn't really about drugs. It's about economic and political control. And when we end its prohibition, it will realign the whole economic system. I really believe that.
And it's kind of like a culture war, too.
Yeah. Culture war and
a class war. We'll transfer a lot of the wealth from the corporate elite now back into the hands of the farming community and back into the hand of the small business owners, and we'll be stimulating an economy that has long been needing to grow for a good number of decades.
And it's about freedom for everyone.
Exactly.
It's not just it means a lot in a lot of ways. So, but thanks a lot. I appreciate your show and everything.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. Have a good evening.
Good night.
And I think we have another caller. Welcome to the show, caller.
Who's that caller for?
Yes. Welcome.
Yes, my name is Jerry. I just wanted to respond to the patient that had leukemia and they were refusing his medical marijuana and making him do P-test.
Yes.
I actually am going through Kaiser myself right now, and I have rectal cancer, I have liver cancer, I have lung cancer, and I have hepatitis C. And they've done the same thing to me. They've taken all of my pain medication away, and they gave me a choice. That I could either do the medical marijuana or the pills. And I would rather do the medical marijuana if I have to choose, because I don't want to get strung out on pills, but still that was the perfect combination. And now I'm back to square one with the pain. The pot helps a lot. But the two together working hand in hand was...
Yeah, they have a synergistic effect.
Absolutely. And I was 20 years, that's the best I felt. And it lasted for maybe, I was on pills for maybe 3 months. And then they said, well, nope, can't do that.
Uh-huh.
So is there people that are looking
for what? Oh, that's the end of that conversation. Well, you know what? We have some film clips. We have a clip from a new movie about industrial hemp out there. It's called Bringing It Home. And it talks about hemp textile production in China, among many other things. We'll be right back after this film clip.
I've lived in Greensboro about 10 years now, and I moved from Charlotte, where I grew up. I've been designing for full-time for about 3 years. I am pregnant. I am almost 7 months now. I just find myself thinking about him and how I want to raise him so protected, I think, you know, protected from chemicals and just show him a different way. People go and they buy some mass-produced t-shirt that has been dyed and has, you know, chemicals on it, and they put it on their body or on their baby, and it's going into you. Our skin is the largest organ on our body, and there are chemicals used in clothing to process fibers and fabric, and the dyeing is very toxic. And I've had clients specifically come to me because of that. They're allergic to dyes used in regular clothing, and they need something that's either a natural dye or not dyed at all.
Emporium is a South African hemp company that's been going since 1996. And it all started with something as simple as this, a little piece of cannabis canvas. And those words sound similar because they are similar. The word canvas comes from the same root as cannabis, and all canvas used to be made out of hemp. And that way it ties in with the history on using hemp in the sails, and obviously the ropes on all the boats as well. And even in South Africa, our Afrikaans word for shirt is hemp. We learned about that this was a durable fabric. It made perfect sense to make bags out of it. We started making many more products and using our clothing especially as a message taker. An eco-audit was done in Canada where they grew a hectare of conventional cotton and a hectare of conventional hemp and did the comparisons. And it was about 2,000 liters per t-shirt saving of water and about a cup of pesticides and agrochemicals. Hemp provides about 250% more fiber per hectare than cotton. So every shirt is making a difference.
This is hemp denim. It's hemp mixed with organic cotton, and I'm making a skirt. This I order from Hemp Traders, and I do that online. This is actually an order for a girl in San Francisco, and she ordered this and a blazer to go with it. So she got the whole outfit. There's so many variations on hemp fabrics these days. I mean, you can get the hemp silk, the hemp denim, hemp suede. There is hemp twill, hemp muslin, and they're beautiful fabrics that are all very breathable, comfortable, washable. You can tell the difference when you have the fabric in front of you and you feel it. It's just a quality thing. A lot of the fabric that I'm buying is actually grown in China or in Canada, but the majority is in China. And it would just be amazing if it were grown here, and it would be a lot cheaper as well, because right now it's definitely one of the more expensive fabrics out there.
Hemp for victory.
You know, the Chinese government, to their credit, they're really using hemp as a way of supporting rural poor farmers and paying, enabling them to, earn a decent income, and then producing all kinds of things for textiles and buildings. It's all happening over there. Realizing the dream of hemp in China. And it's like, well, gosh, this kind of sucks. It's China and not us, but they're doing it and showing the rest of the world this is what you can do.
Come on back. All right, that is an excerpt from Bringing It Home, a new video about industrial hemp out there. And we're going to run down a little show and tell items of the evening. This is a little box of hemp or cannabis, Indian cannabis. It says here it's narcotic and nerve sedative, antispasmodic, anodyne. You put 1 ounce of this, this is an ounce of cannabis was packed into this box, and into a pint of water. And a dose is a teaspoonful. So you take a teaspoonful of that little concoction. Now this is an Eli Lilly package of hemp extract. It was heavy oil extract, kind of like the RSO that's out there today, would be inside this little jar. And it tells instructions on how to use it, and it says it's an analgesic, a hypnotic, antispasmodic, and a powerful narcotic. Then right next door to it, this is from Eli Lilly. This also is an Eli Lilly product, and it's a powdered extract of cannabis. Powdered extract of cannabis would be powdered hashish. It'd be you'd sift the resin off the cannabis flowers and put it directly into your medicine here, and it has instructions on how to use it on the back, but I'm not going to try to read that now. Then we have a big bottle. You can see this is fluid extract of cannabis. It's for preparation number 96. These three Eli Lilly products just represent about 30 different cannabis containing products that Eli Lilly had. This is from Fraser. It's an embossed bottle that says Fraser on the back. It's got a pistol. This is circa 1890. It says it's from Chapman Pharmacy in Roseburg, Oregon, and a cannabis indica. And this is a product from the Wyeth Company, a cannabis tincture product again. And this is a chloroform in cannabis product. It's Killicoff. A chloroform and cannabis. It'll probably just about knock you out. It's also got cherry syrup and pine syrup, and it's still got half the contents in there. So Killicoff. This one is a pure cannabis extract, and it's basically full and unopened. This is about 1920. See, they advanced to screw tops. This is probably one of the most entertaining ones here, and this is a full unopened bottle of these little capsules, and it's a sedative from Park Davis. If you can see, it says Park Davis right down here on the bottom, and it has coca or cocaine. It has arsenic, valerian, strychnine, extract of cannabis, and last but not least, a little codeine in there. So this stuff will just knock you out. I'd say it's a sedative, all right. I don't know about the cocaine, though. I don't know why they put the cocaine. That doesn't seem the opposite. Anyway, here we have a can of cannabis energy drink. Something I found out about all of these energy drinks recently is it has this stuff in there called taurine. If you look on your energy drinks, they all say taurine. It's kind of like Taurus and the bull and the Red Bulls out there. What taurine is actually bull semen. So your energy drinks contain bull semen, including this cannabis energy drink. Just so you know, just look on there, and when you see taurine, just think of the bull. Anyway, and it's not the bull poop. Anyway, then we have chocolate-covered hemp seeds. I've got to eat these someday. And then this hemp twine. So that's our hemp show and tell for tonight. A little bit of entertainment there. We have a couple callers, but we have someone in the studio audience. So let's start with our studio audience member, the illustrious LK.
Hey, Paul.
Welcome, LK.
We made it back from the tour.
All right. Yeah, you were doing the Cannabis Common Sense Tour with
yes,
Justin Bridges. You played music all over. Well, where all did you go?
We went 13 cities, 13 states, 3 months in 2 countries. So we went all over. Went everywhere from California to Texas and everything in between. So it was pretty
What other
cool.
country did you go to?
Mexico and the U.S.
Oh,
went
okay.
into Tijuana. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a great experience. We got to educate a lot of people about the industrial uses of hemp, especially in Texas. You know, it's strange that they have towns like Hempstead, but they had no idea that they had the economy based
around
there.
hemp.
So you know, and it's really big in Texas. I mean, if you look around, there's
hemp was very big in Texas. In fact, the Speaker of the House of Representatives from the 1930s to the 1960s for 30 years was Sam Rayburn, and he voted to pass the first Marijuana Tax Act in 1937. He didn't realize that marijuana meant the hemp he was growing back at home for his own canvas and underwear. So they just didn't know. They still don't know. That's why we keep trying to educate them with this show.
I just wanted to thank you for letting us use your name on the tour, and we're hoping to do an East Coast tour next summer. So
sounds good.
Nice.
Well, thank
Paul.
you. I'm glad you guys are out there educating people all over the country. We have a few phone callers standing by, I believe. Welcome to the show, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey there. So, what do you think about the state of Minnesota passing its extremely restrictive medical cannabis law just earlier today? The conference committee passed out a version of the bill. Both of their houses passed it this afternoon, and the governor has said that he will be
That he's going to sign it. Yeah, we've read a story at the top of the hour about that in our hemp news segment. But I think it's a good thing. It's a shame that patients with chronic pain and spasms and PTSD are excluded from this bill. But at least it will help a few of the patients out there.
It's not just that. In their list of specific conditions, there are also some specific symptoms that have to be reported along with those conditions. For instance, simply having cancer is not enough unless you have within your notes, within the doctor's notes, very specific evidence of severe pain or severe nausea. That is to say, just having the unless
it's ridiculous.
Unless you're complaining a lot to your oncologist and essentially begging for drugs, and which means that they'll actually put this stuff into your chart notes, just having the condition isn't necessarily going to be enough.
I see. No, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, there are a number of these highly restrictive laws in New Jersey, and I know Maryland's has been bad for some time. It was just a affirmative defense, but now they're allowing permits. But you know, cannabis is non-toxic. It's never killed anyone. Why do they have these crazy restrictions?
There's even some talk of whether this would actually qualify as necessarily one of these effective medical cannabis laws, or whether it's actually something that would almost deserve a category of its own.
Maybe so. Maybe
amazing.
so. I haven't really investigated the law that's passed there. Like I said, we read a story here at the top of the hour just from news reports. I haven't read the actual legislation, but it seems very restrictive.
Listen to the debate on the House and Senate side, and there were only a handful of folks who were disappointed that the bill was overly well, there were some, but none were going to necessarily vote against, maybe one or two. But still a number of most of the opposition came from the real opposition, people who simply saw this as the thin end of the wedge. Next, we'll have open injecting in the streets. It was the same kind of madness that you
reefer madness, exactly.
Oh God, well, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, well, how do I say it? Never will I judge. My drug is not necessarily better than your drug. How do I know? But anyway, yeah, just wanted to check in and have a great night.
Hey, thanks for calling. I think I recognize that voice, but good to hear it from you. We have a studio audience member, Ann, who's been doing our cannabis club crawl and visiting various dispensaries around the city. If you're a medical patient and you're interested in getting involved in that, then you can call our office at 503-235-4606 for more information. That's 503-235-4606. Go right ahead, Ann.
Well, tonight we went over to Divine Kind, which is a new place in Southwest. It's located at 8601 Southwest Terwilliger Boulevard. The thing that I love about this place is they have absolutely awesome prices on flower, which everyone knows patients can't afford the expensive flowers we have in dispensaries a lot of the time. The other great thing about them is that they're so friendly and welcoming, and they were able to answer and suggest things for us when we had questions about anything that we needed.
So what was their like an ounce price for, say, their average grade?
Actually, I don't remember what the ounce prices were because they had different breakdowns, but they were offering a special of $6 gram flower, which was really, really awesome.
Good.
Yeah. Next, we went over to Powell House Cannabis Club. That's over at 5311 Southeast Powell Boulevard.
I saw that. That's right by my kid's high school.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, Franklin High School is just right behind there.
Well, I know that they're legal, and they actually had an inspection the other day when I went over to visit them.
Oh.
So they're doing good over there, but they've
Good.
only been around for about a month.
Yeah.
The awesome thing about them is they offer concentrates at a really low price. They have some shatter for $15 a gram, which is absolutely unheard of in Portland. So everyone needs to go check them out. Also on their flowers, they're really competitive on their prices as well. They watch what everyone else is doing and adjust it accordingly to help the patients out.
Good.
The last place that we went to tonight was Flora Portland. That's at 110 Southeast Main Street. And the really cool thing about this place is that overall they were just really knowledgeable on the strains that they had in-house and also had personal experience with the strains available for us. They also had lots of suggestions and new things for us to try as well.
So you want to tell our audience exactly what the Cannabis Club Crawl is and how patients can get involved?
Yeah, the Cannabis Club Crawl is an OMMP-based patient tour service for dispensaries in the Portland area. If they would like to get involved, they need to have a valid card and ID and come visit us at 2712 Northeast Sandy Boulevard. That's also our campaign office for CRRH. So if you've not signed the petitions for Initiative 21 and 22, you can also come over there and do that. If you want to find us on Facebook and you don't have time to come in person, you can go to facebook.com/ccc.pdx.
All right. Well, thank you, Ann. And let's see if that last phone caller is standing by. Or maybe there's more than one. Go right ahead, caller. Welcome to the show.
Is that me?
That's you.
Is that me? Okay, Paul. Hi. This is Bunny. I had talked to you like in October when when I first got my card, and I told you that I smoked it in the 60s, and I smoked it in the 70s, and then in the 80s, and then I quit for a long time, you know. And I just got my card in October, and I'm taking it for like back pain and gastrointestinal problems. So I smoke it and I eat it.
Good.
And so,
good.
What I was calling about is I found out, I've tried a lot of dispensaries, and I found out that it's much better to buy your own flowers and the glycerin and make your own medicine, because the stuff that they sell in the drops and the spritzers and the gummy bears are not as good.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of variation in those things. I know that.
Yeah. When you make your own medicine, it's a better product.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that's it for me.
All right. Well, I'm glad it's working for you and you're able to make your own and tell other patients about your experience. I appreciate you calling back.
Yeah. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later. Okay. One more phone call here. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. First time walker and caller, actually.
All right.
My name is Wally, and I live in Columbus, Ohio. And I was wondering about your efforts. You're kind of one of the only people that I've seen so far towards not just the obvious stereotype of smoking and the reefer madness type of view, but the economical point of view, and I really appreciate that. I was just wondering about your efforts, and if you could, I don't know, if you had any in Ohio.
Unfortunately, we don't. There has been some movements in Ohio. There have been a lot of schisms, lawsuits among various activists there. I know there's a lady in Cincinnati, Lynn Wilson, I would recommend, or another fellow in Athens, Don Wirtschafter at the Ohio Hempery. Both of them are doing good work, but there aren't any initiatives like they've had in Washington and Colorado and that we're circulating in Oregon right now. Unfortunately, they would be the ones I'd put you in touch with to find out more about what's going on there in Ohio now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and keep up the good fight. I really do appreciate what you're doing. And
thanks for watching, sir. We're on every night at this time, 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern time, or 10 o'clock Central time. So we hope you can watch and maybe come out and visit someday, and
Oh,
hopefully
I
the laws will
definitely
change
will.
there in Ohio soon.
No, I really hope you are. I really, like I said, the economical point of view is what really gets lost in most debates.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
it's
really a
all
shame.
about money and power, and that's what we keep trying to educate people about. But thanks for your phone call.
Well, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good night. Well, Casper, we're down to just about 2.5 minutes to go. Boy, a lot of phone calls.
Yes, and a lot of good information come out this evening, too.
Yeah.
And so that, to me, is one of the main reasons why this show is so important. And the 16 years you've been doing it, is that right now?
17.
17
since,
years is
96,
remarkable.
1996. We're going on 18 years in
that needs to be commended.
October.
And you got an amazing team of people that have made that happen. So
I think this is about show 740 or 745.
And I'm blessed to be part of this. And
Thanks
so I want
for
to thank
coming
you
on.
for making that happen. And we broadcast it into iHeartRadio through the timeforhemp.com website, which is also the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Tune us in, pick us up, pass it around, and share us with your friends like a good joint.
All right. We have an event. There's a little poster right down here. There it is. It's coming up on May 30th. It's a benefit for our 2 initiatives, and we do have 2 initiatives in circulation right now. We urge you to get involved and help us get those signatures. We have till July 3rd. There are 2 initiatives. One is a constitutional amendment, very short and sweet, says that marijuana prohibition is over and you can't punish people with criminal penalties for growing and possessing marijuana, but the state can regulate it and have civil penalties for public safety. Then to get more information, we want you to contact us at 503-235-4606. Come by our office at 2712 Northeast Sandy Boulevard. I want to thank you folks for watching. We're going to go out with another great song with Mr. John Cornett. Thank you, Casper. Thank you, viewers. See you next week, and help us restore hemp. Good night.
There's a train coming, and she's already on the track. People changing, and for some there's no going back. Cannabis is more than just a weed. Cannabis, the tree of life to me.